Namo Sakya Muni Buddha, dear monastic sanghas, and all our Zen practitioners, and all dear friends, Dharma friends. So at this time, this is our afternoon Q&A sections for the fourth day of our 7-day retreat in January 2024. So this time we're gonna explain more about the practice, and we also take the questions. So our practice is mainly focused on the practice and very basics. That is, ask the question and raise the doubt. And the great doubt is going to sweep out all the worldly knowledge and all the seeking knowledge, or something that we longing to keep all the knowledge. And this is not based on knowing sweeping, but this is automatically. This is the automatic process. And this is not based on something that we are, something that we gonna gain, something that we gonna seek. Doesn't matter if it's sweeping or not. Just mainly put your mind into the practice. How do you put your mind in the practice? Ask the question clearly. Before heaven and earth came into existence, what was I? Before heaven and earth came into existence, what was I? So day and night, you keep going at it, because otherwise our mind is gonna go into the slacking mode. So doesn't matter what happens, you just stay focused with the Huatou questions. So your question not disappear in your mind and non-stop. That is also means that you have the strong determinations about birth and death, and you're able to maintain that energy. So the practice here is not just, try to put too much force into it. As long as the patriarch say that as long as you use less any force as possible. So look at this way. When our minds, even though we don't want to have a lot of discursive thoughts, but the discursive thoughts, it just arises by itself all day, all night, and non-stop. So, and we basically run on this track of discursive thoughts. This is train of thoughts. So when we try to come up with a method to get rid of this discursive thoughts, that is gonna create another head of knowledge, another head of not gonna able to get rid of it, but you're gonna create another head on top of another head. So the question is gonna create a doubt. The great doubt, this energy of doubt is gonna go automatically into our source of ignorance, and that's when the automatic process is gonna put the end of the birth and death. So when the patriarchs try to say it profoundly, clearly about this process, and the practitioners maybe not believe in this, but we believe in our own distinction between this and that. We love to differentiate on the discursive thoughts, and we're not able to return to our original self. So For us as practitioners, we came to this Zendo to practice and listen to the explanations. You already have this, you have the seed of trust in the mind. But because, sometimes we have this habitual energies keep coming back to us all the time. And it makes us, swim against the stream, and it's even though it's difficult, but actually it's good for our practice. So when we swim against the current, a lot of people try to swim against the current, but not many able to make it, because practitioners maybe eventually they're going to lose their trust in the mind. So therefore, the trust in the mind is very important. It's very essential for us to always keep it in mind. So when practitioners come to the Zendo, and sometimes we get a lot of distraction in the mind or from the external world and so on. But when you come to the Zendo, it's going to help us to exhaust that energy, and eventually able to taste the Zen. You're going to be able to deeply feel the Zen, and only the practice able to take you there. So the patriarchs say that the longer you in the practice, the more you're able to experience the Zen. And it's just basically everything is have to come to with the familiarity. If this practice is new to you, therefore you continue to practice it until you get familiar with the practice. Just like the Zen practitioners go to one Zen center and stay there at that Zen center for quite some time and get familiar with the Zen center. But if that practitioners change the Zen center, and the new Zen center is going to be unfamiliar, but eventually that practitioner get used to that Zen center as well. So same thing with the Huatou practice. We're gonna get used to it as long as you're able to practice it all the time. And if we're able to maintain this practice all the time, you're gonna get used to it, and the energy of doubt is gonna create it. So because of our karmic energies from many lives is comes together at times, in our life, and therefore it, sometimes it creates the obstructive energy in our practice. So nevertheless, we continue to strive on and practice without bothered by that karmic energy. So even the energy of hatred, the energy of illusion, and greed energy and so on. So we have been experiencing all different things in life from our karmic results. So we need to be mindful about our impermanence, because we have this precious life, so we able to use this for the practice. If we don't, we're gonna waste this life. So the practice, if you're able to maintain the question and raise the doubt, and when you ask the question, that means you are literally translate rescue your own mind. So this Huatou is just a name. It's not something that we have to fixate on the name of the Huatou, but actually it's just a practice that help us to return to our original mind. So this practice we can practice even though, let's say, if we gonna be experience the near death, and we have to keep continue asking the question no matter what, and we don't have to bother to concern too much about the body. When you sit for a long time and you get numb, but when you walk, and it's gonna start feel normal again. So this is only, everything has come from our own mind. It is construct all the problems for ourselves. So we need to untie our own problem from our own mind. So that's just a few words of reminders. And also, this is this time for us to ask a question, or if you have any concern or comments about your practice, please do so. Thank you. Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Miss Wang or Dr. Smith Graham, would you like to ask any question? Please let me know. Suko Pháp Tuệ, please go ahead.
Dạ, Nam mô Bổn sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật.
Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Dear
quý thầy, quý sư cô, cùng thiền đường đại
senior
chúng.
monks and all.
Để em mở cái này lên lại. Rồi, hỏi.
Sorry, she has a little bit of audio technical difficulty.
Em mới mở rồi đó.
Dạ, mô Phật, cho con xin phép thỉnh pháp cho một vị bạn đồng tham.
I would like to ask this Dharma question for one of my friends.
Hỏi rằng là đang
she
ngồi trong
want me
thiền đường,
she want to ask
không có
this
khởi có
question.
nghi tình, nhưng mà trong tâm rất là thanh
while I
tịnh
was
tịnh,
sitting in the zendo,
thì
my mind
phải đề câu khởi
doesn't
đầu
have
và khởi
any
nghi tình, nhưng mà
doubt,
kính thỉnh thầy từ bi
but
khai thị.
my mind
Dạ,
creates
Bổn
a
sư
lot
Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật.
of quietness, calm abiding. So can you say more about this?
Ở thiền đường thăm thiền hay là ở
So
nhà?
when you are at the zendo or at home or wherever you are, when you practice, even though the outside world is moving with noise and so on, but inside in your mind you always keep practicing. But the practice here is not just stay in the calm abiding or stay in the quietness. So usually when we are in this noisy world, busy world, and we longing to stay in the quiet place and with the tranquility and all that, and when you come to this practice, you want your mind to go into the quiet mode, and then when your mind is satisfied with the quietness in the practice, and then your mind is gonna make you to go to the noisy world again, go back to the noisy world. So our mind keep changing all the time. So when we do the practice, your mind is it keep distinguish between all the conditions all the time. and also the cell attachment. So we should not let our mind fool us. So when we in the quietness or tranquility state of mind, and you recognize as the true path, so that's the fool. So that's why we need to ask the question all the time and raise the doubt. And the practiceness, or sometimes the practitioners, they love to stay in the calm abiding. They love stay in the tranquility, in the concentration. And when we're talking about this, they reject the idea about stay in that concentration or tranquility. But that is not the final destination. The Buddha said that is the dead water. If you stay in, if your mind stay in that concentration or tranquility all the time, that means you stay in the dead water. You're not be able to move on. And even someone they achieve that highest level of concentration, they could be born into the better world, maybe the heavenly realm. But at the end of the life of the heavenly realm, that practitioner, fall back into the six realms again. So it's not gonna resolve the cycle of birth and death. So this practitioner from the Buddha time, he loved to stay in the concentration, and one day he sat under the near the pond, actually near the tree, and he loved to stay in the concentration state of mind. And the birds, the fish, in the pond making too much noise. And he said to himself, if I achieve, the superpower, I'm gonna kill all of this. He just raised that thought, and after he achieved his highest level of concentration, he was reborn into the heavenly realm. But after he take a rebirth into the six realms again, he was born into the almost like the horse fish. So therefore we need to be careful about this, because our mind, it keeps fooling us all the time. So if you love or longing for the quietness or tranquility, it's not gonna help us in our Buddhahood. So the patriarchs say that you rather have the discursive thought than stay in that calm abiding or tranquility, because the discursive thoughts is actually is a sub level of subtle level of the noisy mind. So so therefore we need to beware of that. So this Zen story about this Zen master, he raised this little kid in a mountain, just only two of them, the master and the novice. Basically, they stay in the mountain for a very long time. Only the master and the kid, and they know a lot about the animals in the mountain, but no other human beings. So one time he took the kid. By now he should be already a teenager, to the village, and this teenager saw this lady, this beautiful girl, and the master say that he asked the master, what is it? And the master say that, this is a tiger, and this tiger even more dangerous than the tiger in our mountain. So
đâu cần ai dạy đâu.
this teenagers,
Tự nhiên á,
he keeps this in mind and went back to the mountain, but he missing, he longing for that beautiful girl. And when they went back to the monastery, and he said that, how come, this tiger, she's so cute, she's so nice to me, it's compared to the real tiger in the mountain. So after his longing for this beautiful girl, and he left the monastery and went to the village. So
giống như là Ngài Lai Quả có cái bài kệ khai thất đó, những kẻ cứng đầu cứng cổ, cái người chấp tâm.
So in
trong tương đối năng sở đó, cứng đầu cứng cổ để bỏ vào trong lò lửa.
In this practice, the patriarchs say that during our retreat, this is the time for all the Dharma guards, bodhisattvas, and they guard us for the practice to help us. So this is the time for us to do the almost like the alchemy process, change form. We're gonna, it's literally translate to we're gonna do the transformation, just like burn all the metals. It's an analogy. Burn all the metals to melt, to only in order to get the gold. So it's almost like the alchemy process. And the patriarch want us to continue to go at it all the time and keep the Huatou question and maintain the doubts. So from there, you're able to get to the source of our self nature. So the practice get to the great doubt. You're gonna hit the dead wall, hit the mountain, hit the end of the sea. So that is when you reach to the 100-foot pole, and just one step, and you're gonna fall down and die, and then you're gonna reborn. This is just a metaphor to say that your mind is gonna come to the new transformation, return to our original source or self nature. So there's a saying that when we're able to clear all that, we're able to splash the space, we return to the original self nature. All these words, skillful words from the patriarchs to help us to understand the process. So our practice is very, very dangerous for us to fall into the calm abiding and tranquility, or in the quiet mind. So when we come together like this, ask questions and comments and learn all this, you're able to get familiar with the process. So right now, when we are at the Zendo, we practice Zen, but when you leave the Zendo, less likely that we continue with the practice. Sometimes we forget, how to practice. So therefore, the environment at the Zendo help us to build a momentum for our practice. And with the teachers and friends and colleagues, they're gonna support us with the practice. So if you stay in the Zendo 3 to 5 years, you're able to experience the difference, rather than you just come once a while and you're gonna be able to see the big difference. So therefore, you need to rely or need the support from the sangha, that we're able to practice. So did that make sense to you?
Vị này sẽ hiểu, tại vì thầy khai thị rất là rõ ràng.
So I think
Con
this
có một
person may
cái
be
câu hỏi
understand.
thắc mắc thêm, kính thỉnh thầy từ bi khai thị.
I have another question. Need you to explain to me.
Hành giả tham thiền giống như chúng con đây, thì lâu
practitioner like me,
khi mà cái tâm mình nó tỉnh thì mình lại khởi lên có một cái gì đó giống như là gọi là tự tánh. Thì nếu mà mình biết mình đang sử dụng cái tự tánh thì cái này nó còn là cái tự tánh không ạ? Nó có phải là cái sở cầu hay không? Phải là cái sở đắc hay không? Kính thỉnh thầy từ bi khai thị rõ cho chúng con, để chúng con có niềm tin và rõ ràng trên cái công phu của mình.
or get something
Nam mô
out
Bổn
of
Sư
the self nature.
Phật.
So can you explain more? Thank you.
Một cái triệu chứng, cái hưởng ứng, cái
so any experience with the assumption, any side of assumption that something that you gain something. If you assume that you get something from the self nature, oh, this is wonderful, this is something that miraculously happens, in your mind, and someone experience like that, they need to share this. So we're gonna deny it, because otherwise, if you don't say it out loud, then eventually you're gonna accept that state of mind, and that is the cell nature. I'm sorry, the cell attachment to that something to gain, and that you're gonna build this huge ego in your practice. So therefore, in the Zen tradition, the compassionate heart of the patriarchs, they even beat the practitioner when they say that, oh, I just gained something, I just got something from the Buddha nature. I experienced the Buddha nature. So the patriarch, they're gonna knucklehead, practitioners, because that is something that come from your false mind. And if you stay in that state of mind, eventually you're gonna attach to it, and you're gonna get lost in on your path. So in the Garland Flower Sutra, it teaches us about this, to recognize all these false assumptions or false image happens, during our practice, because the mind can create so much false image in the process, and we maybe sometimes accept those image as real, and then we're gonna fall into the wrong path. And so therefore, if you see that when we practice and we recognize that, oh, we are so good, we are, I am the best practitioner, better than anyone else. So we need to be careful about this. Otherwise, this is the egoistic mind that slowly build up in our practice. So therefore, we need to be very careful about this. It's gonna increase the dose of self-attachment and create this huge ego in our mind. So we shouldn't attach to any image from our practice.
Thành kính tri ân thầy. Con có thêm một cái câu hỏi nữa, kính thỉnh thầy từ bi khai thị.
I have another question, so please ask.
Hỏi về cái chỗ mà sâu thẳm, nhìn vào cái chỗ đen tối, thì thầy có khai thị. Thì cái này
so this morning, Miss Kim Ying asked you about the question that I create an image to look at, So, which is the false practice. So, so I have to return to ask the question again. Please correct me if I practice is wrong.
Có cái nghi tình đó, mặc dù cái nghi tình mình chưa có mạnh.
So,
nó chưa có
maybe this have to do with the doubt. Maybe you not generate enough great doubt, and the mind try to create a lot of things out of restlessness. And when you have this strong determination for the practice, trust in the mind, you continue to ask a question and create a doubt. Then you have this right doubt. So the great doubt only comes when your true asking the question, and just like the Buddha, when he had this doubt and he left everything behind to seek for the true doubt or the great doubt. And when he experienced all these scenes from the palace, the death, the sickness, the death, and so on, that he had that doubt, that he left everything to solve his birth and death. So even when we in this practice, and we cannot trade for anything else. When someone put a gun on our head and ask us not to practice anymore, stop practicing this, and we should deny that, and we continue to do the practice. So when you practice this, you look at things, but actually there's nothing to look. So when we return and practice with the mind is pervasive, it's everywhere. So there's no place for the mind not to able to reach to. So we need to realize that our minds love to hold on to something because our habitual patterns that we always want to hold on to gain something in dualistic thinking. So when you listen to something, when you're looking at something, just like in the Diamond Sutra, the Buddha teaches that when you follow the sound, the forms, the image to seek the Buddhahood, then you fall into the wrong path. So the true intention of the Buddha is we have to leave any dualistic modes in our practice. So in some of the conventional teaching of the Buddha, he created the conventional teaching or conventional method. So for a practitioner able to continue to trust in themselves. So from the skillful teaching, they need to move up to the absolute teaching. So in this practice, the Buddha came to the conclusion with the Heart Sutra or the Prajna Sutra. So Buddha, no Buddha, and neither Buddha or non-Buddha. So Prajna, no Prajna, and neither Prajna or none or no Prajna. So this is the absolute teaching in the Heart Sutra. So in the Lamvata Sutra, we have to leave any modes, relative modes, in order to reach to the absolute. So the first mode is being, second mode is non-being, and the third mode is being and non-being, and the fourth mode is not non-being and not non-being. So those four modes we need to negate in order to leave the conventional. So when people say that I don't say anything, but it's already say something. So basically, people say one mode to the other mode, and we get stuck in this four modes all the time. So when the Buddha's teachings always try to help us to release our self-attachment, and if we attach to the words, and we get a problem. So just like the one who able to see and a blind person. So when the person describe about the sun, and the blind person not able to really fully understand how the sun looks like. So only the person able to see, able to experience the sun. So when the person describe how the sun look like, it's around. So the blind person attached to the round shape. So when the blind person feel something round, and then he said that that's the sun, and when is the sun is hot, and the blind person attached to that hot is anything that's hot is the sun. So the Buddha tried to explain so much level, the Heart Sutra and all the other sutras, to help us to realize the true nature of the self. So the blind person, if he want to see the sun, he need to able to cure his eye sight. So if right now, if we don't practice and we just want to know about the self nature, how can that be? How can that is going to be possible? So therefore, we need to, based on this practice, ask the question, consider ask the question, or if we use the prajna contemplation. So the Huatou question, the Huatou question is always consider the Huatou, or asking the question. So when you're asking the question, that's when it's gonna create the doubt. So when the patriarch say, look into the darkness of our ignorance. So that's the beginning of our birth and death. So before birth and death, that is when the doubt is gonna able to take us before thought. So before thought is when before birth and death. Any thought rise, it give birth to a thought, and then the birth of thought come to die. So the doubt is basically gonna help us to go beyond to the all the way to the original source of our self nature. So look at the emptiness. All this saying by the patriarchs, look at in the emptiness, and it's just the way of saying, but we attach to it. We try to keep look into the emptiness. So we need to get rid of this self-attachment.
coi như là theo cái thế gian mà Đức Phật nói kiến văn giác tri á, là kiến bệnh đã thành tựu vô thỉ. Cái nhận thức của mình, cái thấy, cái biết, cái nghe, cái nghe, cái thấy, cái biết bệnh cả, cái biết không đúng với cái thực tế.
Whatever
Cái biết
we
chúng
try
sanh hay
to
con người thì mình thấy
understand
cái
is
điều đó là mình thấy.
it come from
Súc
our
sanh
own
mình chỉ thấy
false
theo
mind.
kiểu súc sanh thôi. Của trời á thì nó biết kêu của trời, của ngạ quỷ biết theo của ngạ quỷ thôi. Nếu như ta thấy mặt trời là sáng là đẹp, mà ngạ quỷ thấy là lửa, nó không thể
So
sống dưới mặt trời được.
our
Nhưng mặt trời là nó
false
cháy tan
perception
tành hết, nên nó mới là
is different all the
lửa
time.
thiêu. Nó cũng là tội lỗi
And
bởi ngũ thú tạp cư mà.
we attach to our own
Mà
views,
trong ban đêm thì cái
and
cũng
that's
hàng
why it
tháng mà cũng phải
create
lạnh,
all the suffering.
chết đi sống lại, chết đi sống lại.
And
Chịu
the
cái
views
khổ sinh tử, cái
for
địa
all the
ngục.
sentient beings, they have
Bởi
their own views
cái
as
tham, cái
well.
sân, cái si.
So
Còn á, ngạ quỷ nó thấy cơm nóng mình thấy là ngon, ngạ quỷ thấy là than lửa, nhưng
so all
than
this
mộ của một mình
teaching
đen nữa.
from the Buddha try to
Bà
help
đem
us to
lấy một chén
find
cơm
the
cho bà
realization.
nóng ngon ăn mà bà thấy than lửa không có
And
được.
in the hell
Mình
realms, they
thấy
have their
cơm
own
ngon là
views.
ngạ quỷ, cái gì là ngạ
In
quỷ
the
khác.
animal realms, they have their own view. In the
Cái người nuôi
human
con chó
realms,
này,
they have
cái
their
người
own
nuôi
view.
vậy này, nó thấy cục xương nó thích hơn, cho mình đưa cái hộp xoàn, nó có thích đâu, đưa
So
vàng nó có thích đâu, đưa tiền nó có thích đâu, tôi nói giấy nó cắn nó xé thôi á. Con người thì mê mấy cái đó, thích mấy cái đó. Cõi trời nhìn xuống thì nó chê mình là đống rác, bươi rác mà sống mà xài. Tại vì cái trời ta có thần thông chỉ đá hóa vàng, ta muốn y có y, muốn thực có thực, đâu cần tìm cần mấy thứ đó đâu, tôi tưởng gì có cái đấy rồi. Cho nên cái nghiệp của chúng sanh á, mỗi cái nghiệp nó khác nhau, cái nhìn, cái hiểu, cái biết nó không đúng với cái thực tế. Tại vì đúng với người này mà không đúng với người kia, đúng với loại này không đúng với loại khác, làm sao mà gọi là đúng được. Thì cái bát nhã trí mới quán xuyến chiếu soi đầy đủ rõ ràng tất cả. Cho nên nói cái biết của mình, cái hiểu của mình á, và cái sự ứng dụng của mình á, hiện tại đến cái bộ
I
não
just
ý
want to
thức mình á,
summarize
đều là sai lầm.
because he explained too much and
Đâu
it's
chấp nhận là sai.
redundant
Mình
a
tụng
lot.
thiên hạ mình cho mình giỏi hơn hết, giỏi nhất hơn hết.
So basically, we just
Ai cũng vậy hết.
understand that
Học á, con
we all
khỉ
have different
này,
view.
muốn ăn là đi tìm chỗ ăn, nó bay bằng thần thông, nó bay cho cố, rồi cuối cùng á nó cũng chỉ là con khỉ thôi. Mà nó muốn là nó bay lên trời, gọi là tề thiên đó, chứ đâu có
Animal
lên trời gì đâu.
realms, God, heavenly
Thôi.
realms, they have their own views, perspective of
Nên đó là
things.
cái si mê, đó là cái vọng
So
động.
anything come from our own view or perception is
Và muốn
come
chấm
from
dứt cái si mê, cái vọng động,
the
cái sự phân biệt
ignorance.
của thức đó.
So in order for us to stop
Đúng
this
chánh pháp, đúng cái tôn chỉ của thiền, chúng ta sẽ hàng phục được
wrong views, we need to
cái tâm
come to the
mình.
practice.
Nên tại sao Kinh Kim Cang nó ưng vô sở trụ như sanh diệt tập, mình đang trụ trên người thì mình hiện tính con người thôi, mà làm ác quá là mình trụ cái ngạ quỷ địa ngục súc sanh thì mình cho đó là mình luôn nữa.
We attach to our views, and when we reborn into the animal realms, we attach to the animal realm.
Nó là chủ mình.
So
Nó muốn ăn, bắt mình đi tìm đồ ăn bỏ vô, nó khác, bắt
anything
nước
can be
lo đi tìm chỗ mà chui nằm
come from the false view is manifest in the different realms.
Rồi nó hưởng thụ á, thì phải tìm, sau đó tội mình chịu hết. Thì cái đó là cái mê lầm, cho nên không có chạy trên cái năng sở. Nhớ đó để mà mình đừng có trụ năng sở, đừng có tạo ra những cái sai lệch để mà đi á ra. Cái đó Phật nói là nhận giặc làm con, hay chỗ thanh thanh tịnh tịnh á. Tại sao mà lục tổ Pháp Ba Đằng Kinh nó thiền định giải thoát chẳng phải Phật pháp? Tại vì nằm trong tương đối. Có thiền định tức là có tán loạn, có giải thoát tức là có bó buộc. Tự tánh ta chưa từng bị bó buộc, tự tánh ta chưa từng sanh diệt. Tại do cái mê tâm mình á, mình thấy sanh diệt, rồi đánh mất cái tự tánh, đánh mất cái
So
bản lai
our cell nature originally no birth and death, but because our false minds create all the birth and death, and that's why we in this suffering world all the time.
Dạ, con hiểu. Thành kính tri ân thầy.
Miss Wang, you want to ask him a question?
Kim Yến.
Never mind, someone else already.
Dạ, Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật.
Namo Sakyamuni Buddha, dear monks and nuns, and all practitioners. Can you explain more?
Đọc lại cái chỗ mà pháp môn tham tưởng sự thiền là trực chỉ nhân tâm, thì cô xin thầy khai thị lại cái chỗ này cho con.
Can you explain more about the direct
Cảm ơn thầy.
Practice into our mind? So this is the teaching of the Zen is direct a practice to the mind.
Cũng cái tâm mà
so this mind creates all the things in the world in the 10 Dharma realms. So that mind also help us to become Buddha. So everything created from the mind, manifests from the mind, and anything manifests from the mind is not real. So the poet also tried to describe the mind. So the mind has in Tianqi, in Chinese, they try to describe the words mind or sing to the extent of the dots in the mind or the heart's word in Chinese. Is basically the three dots is the three realms. So the human realms is a very good condition for our achieve the Buddhahood. This is the suffering world, the world of this world contains good, the wholesome, and the unwholesome, everything. So it's easy for a practitioner able to balance out and able to practice. So when the Buddha said that when you direct your mind, direct the practice, and return to the original mind, and when you able to achieve that, you able to achieve the Buddhahood. So when you're able to direct that mind, and you're able to become a Buddha, so our body, our human body is a very very rare, because it's just like a blind turtle out in the sea. Only 1,000 years is gonna go up in the water surface to get some sun, to stay up in the surface of the ocean to get some sun and so on. And this is just a metaphor way to analyze how precious our human body. And this blind turtle, it's happened to able to get through this hole of a lock flowing in the ocean. And how can the blind turtle able to get into the hole of a lock flowing in the ocean? So this is basically a metaphor saying that this human birth is very precious, very rare, and we should not waste this opportunity. And we should not waste our chance that we able to gain the Dharma, the teaching of the Buddha, and the practice. So right now, when we listen to this, and we just happen to feel happy about it, but we don't really take serious about our practice. Sometimes we have this body, but our mind is like the asura, and the mind create the hell realms. The mind also create the atula, sorry, the animal. So the mind is also, you know, the create the hell realms within ourselves. So when this is saying, when you direct the mind into the practice, that's when you're able to achieve the Buddhahood. Go beyond the skillful teachings, the skillful methods. And when you direct our mind to get into the absolute path, then you're able to achieve this path. Not that, you know, other path not able to achieve, but it's gonna take longer because they use different skillful teaching and skillful methods, skillful practice in order to get to the absolute state of Buddhahood. So therefore, it's saying that when you achieve, when you direct your mind to the practice, that's fully you're able to achieve the Buddhahood. So when there is a saying that the ancient people, not the ancient people, were able to do it, and I should be able to do that too. Just like the Buddha was able to do it, or the patriarchs were able to do it. So so, you know, we have that ability to do as well. So we have to trust in our own mind.
Dạ thưa thầy, hình như là Miss Wayne muốn thỉnh pháp rồi.
Mời cô Quan.
Miss Wang, you want to ask a question?
Xin đi.
You can unmute for Dr. Smith Graham.
Minh Trí nói cô phải mở cái micro lên.
Ờ, 可能要翻译一下。我们学到了话头，但是我还看到了一个词叫话尾。那么话尾是什么意思呢？请师父开示。
Con học tổ sư Thiền về pháp sư về cái câu thoại đầu mà bây giờ lại nói về cái câu thoại nhị, xin pháp sư giải thích cho.
Đến thầy Xin Chi khai thị.
I would like to ask Master Sunchi to explain to her. So Master Sunchi want the abbot to explain. So learning the Huatou is it's just a noun. It's searching for your mind, your self nature mind. If you have the trust in the mind, right now we are in the afterthoughts. So because basically this is another way to say if you get sick, then you get medication. And the picture say that we have false mind and come from the ignorance. So the Buddha and patriarchs try to come up with the false treatment. So originally there weren't any 84,000 teaching, but because our false mind create all the sickness in our mind, so therefore the Buddha have to come up with the 84,000 treatments to help them to return to the prajna or the wisdom. So when you have full trust in the mind,
tin trên cái tương đối
if you only trust on the conventional, which is based on the subject and object, then we get stuck in the after thoughts or thoái ví. So if we able to leave the subject and object, then you able to get to the Huatou before thought. So the Huatou is just a skillful way to practice. When you reach to the great doubt, either before thought or end of the thought, Huatou or after Huatou, doesn't matter. So we should use this as a skillful way to reach to the original self nature. So there's no such nibbana, but because human thought, the true nibbana. So therefore, the Buddha have to, present the nibbana. So when the Buddha tried to explain a lot, and we keep falling into his words, and we attach to his words, and we're not able to find our realization. So right now we need to have a really deep trust in our own mind, and we're able to treat this sickness in the Zen. So when we in this elusive, when we have our elusive mind, we need to wake up in order for us to see this reality. So the reason we say nibbana all the time, so that you're able to leave your suffering world, your hell realm. So it's just basically help us to get out of the pit hole, or the abyss. As long you're able to get out, then there's no such nibbana or hell realms anymore. So we're able to get out of the dualistic mode of thinking. So when we talking about Huatou, and we still stay in the after Huatou, or the after thoughts. So this is just basically a skillful teaching by the patriarchs. Do you understand?
Yeah. So it's a time. What's the time?
It's almost time for lunch. You can come back later in 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. You can come back and we can explain more for you. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.